Okay, we are recording, I think. So if you have team members, I know people couldn't all hop on at noon, but my hope was, since we're in quarantine, that people would, most of us are in quarantine, that people would be home. So I thought, well, let's just do it over the lunch hour, and then I'll record it for anybody who can't be on. So I appreciate all of you getting on. We'll try to make this not too long. But with everything going on, I really wanted to touch base with you guys. First of all, I'm proud of you for showing up today. I know, like, there are days that I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and scroll through my Facebook and watch the news and see what the updates are. So I'm proud of all of you for being here. I have somebody who's coming on today to talk to us a little bit about how we can continue running our businesses during this time. Because just from based on my chats, like in some of the chat groups and some conversations I've had with some of you, I feel like there are a number of people who are almost either paralyzed by what's going on and are not sure what to do. And then I feel like there's other people who need permission. You need me to tell you it's okay to continue on with your business when there are so many crazy things going on in the world, and we know sick people, and we're all kind of crazy right now. So I wanted to get on here today and talk to you a little bit about this, because I think the worst thing that you can do for your business is to ignore your business during this time. So I want to make sure that we are all still engaged. And I know some people have said, well, I feel icky selling. And I talked about this a little bit last week, but I think it's worth talking about a little bit more. And if you have questions, or if you want to say something, please put it in the chat and we'll try to get to everything. But I know people say I feel icky selling. It's okay. I can tell you that for me, I'm having one of my best sales months in a while, and it's not because I'm doing anything fantastic or crazy or out of this world. I just changed the way that I'm handling my sales. And I think that's what we need to do. It's okay to sell. It's just how we convey our messages. Because if we continue on with our business through this time, when we come out of this, and we will come out of this, we are going to be in an amazing position. So I'm going to introduce Melissa Hammerly. Melissa, you can unmute yourself, right? Hold on.
Hi.
No? Okay, so I've been working with Melissa. Melissa, some of you have probably seen Melissa and maybe even heard her speak a little bit. Melissa is on Natalie Robison's team as well, but she's in a different leg than we are. And I've been working with her for almost a month now. And I personally, for me, our business is a party model business. For me and my schedule and my work schedule, that doesn't always work great. So I have had to come up with my own way of doing business without doing as many parties. Not that I don't do events and stuff, but I just don't do as many of them. And she and I have really come up with a strategy that has made a world of difference in my community. I've expanded my VIP group and really expanded my customer base just in the matter of a few weeks. And the way that I'm doing it is a way that I think we can all use or try to lean towards to sound less icky and selling and more community building. So Melissa, have at it.
Hi, ladies. Well, first of all, if no one's told you this week, and I know you probably don't feel like it because you smell icky, but you're beautiful and you're wonderful, and you have the power to do really amazing things from your computer, from your phone, wherever you're at, and you can choose to either spin this in a positive way that helps other people, or we can sit here and we can pout about it. So I'm not going to pout. I've cried a lot, but I'm not going to pout because I don't have the time for that, and I don't think many of you do either. So just know that you are capable of really big things, whether it's just putting on your pants for the day, or if it's you're like the rock star homeschool mom, which if you are, by the way, I have a degree in education. I am not the rock star homeschool mom. That's not me. My kids, I think, are somewhere on an iPad, I hope, and I'm praying that there's 4 of them when we're done off this call. So we'll see. But my name's Melissa. I've been with Zaya for just over a year and a half. I am the naysayer of all things direct sales. I don't believe in it. I don't want you to message me. I don't want you to send me your link. I think it's all silly, right? And yet here I am making a living selling leggings from my house, which is absolutely the exact opposite of anything I ever thought I would ever do. On top of that, I did teach, worked in education for almost 10 years, and then I have a master's degree in educational technology, which encompasses two things, which is kind of what Jen was talking about. So it's integration of technology into business and education, and then I also have a knowledge base of how social media works, how you can use it to your advantage, etc. And so after a lot of time, I kept getting asked about business coaching and to coach people into doing what I do, which is not rocket science, and it certainly is easily replicated. But I really believe in the power of community. I believe that if you have a platform where one person or 10,000 people are listening to you, then you can use that platform for good, and you can create something that feels good that also provides an income for your family. I don't do parties ever unless someone asks me for them. And most of my customer base comes from my VIP group, where on a typical day, I'm completely transparent, or a typical month, I do anywhere from about $3,000 to $5,000 a month in sales without a single party. I don't cold message anybody. I've never asked a single person to join my team. They do it organically. And that's what I've been coaching with Jen on how to do. And it's a lot, we do a lot of individual work, but that's just kind of the broad overview of what I do in terms of business coaching. I help you turn your VIP group around, your social media, and I help you change it from somewhat of the tone of people are tired of direct sales to people are supporting you in your community because they love you and they love what you're doing and they want to be a part of that. I have 46 first line reps, Jennifer. After today, probably 47. And I'm telling you that not because I'm doing anything special, but because I've never cold messaged anybody. I've never asked a single person to join my team. I've never sent the, hey girl, do you want to make money from your phone situation? And there's not a darn thing wrong with any of that. That's what direct sales is. And that there's lots of people who have found lots of success in this company doing exactly those things. However, that didn't feel good to me. That didn't feel organic to me. It didn't feel the way that I wanted to make a long-term business. And so in creating this model for myself, other people have, like Jen, and I mentor 3 other people as well in their businesses, who they said, I want to do what you're doing because this other stuff, while it brought me a little bit of success up front, it's not creating long-term success for me over the long haul. And so I thought, okay, I know how to write curriculum and I know how to amp somebody up. I can turn this into something that is beneficial to other people. And so that's kind of where the business mentoring coaching part of my life has kind of developed. And I did training and development for a really long time. So it just kind of felt like a natural progression for me. However, there's some really basic things that you can do that you don't need to pay anybody to teach you how to do. No one has to teach you how to have a kind heart. And right now we are living in a time where it feels as though, well, I mean, like, is the zombie apocalypse coming? I don't know. But if it is, we're going to look really good in our leggings. We are sitting at home. We are pondering a lot of things. We are questioning the way that we run our everyday lives on a normal day. Our kids are driving us nuts. Our husbands are driving us nuts. You know, all of these things are happening, and it can be really emotional and it can feel very overwhelming. And I have felt those feelings. But where I turn to in that time is my group. I don't like calling it a VIP group. That's what it is. But it's my community. It's people, and some of you might be in there. I don't know. I have a lot of reps in there. It's people that I rely on for daily encouragement and love. And that has nothing to do with selling leggings. So my model is to create this place where people feel loved and welcomed, and they feel like they have a safe space to talk about things that are hard. I share my story over and over and over again in there, but I do it organically. The snippet version of that is that I lost 85 pounds. I was struggling with depression and postpartum depression, anxiety. I had no purpose in this life and I didn't want to live. And so I share that with a lot of other people. I'm an Army wife. My husband is gone right now. I just had a baby, which, by the way, I totally hid in my leggings for 9 months. If you haven't seen that, well, surprise, your light and tights can hide a baby. No one knew I was pregnant. So this space that I've created, when I first started it, it was kind of for me. And I did the typical direct sales things that you do in the beginning to build a business. I hosted parties. I put my link out there all of the time. But what I realized is people didn't attract to that. They wanted to attract to me. And so if you can take a moment and you can hit the pause brakes on all of the things that you would normally do to sell to people, and take this moment in our time and shift it to a moment of, I need to create a space that is safe for somebody who's sitting at home who feels really alone. There's a lot of power in that, y'all. There are moms out there who are driving through uncharted territory here. There are teenagers and college kids who have literally just had everything that they've ever worked for taken from them in a moment of 10 seconds, where there may not be a stage where they walk across or a big celebration after 4 years of really hard work. That's traumatic for people. It's traumatic to have people around you be scared of something, whether they should be scared of it or not. It's traumatic to have moments where you feel like maybe you're undeserving of selling a pair of leggings. So you might be feeling that. You might be around people who are feeling that. I felt it. But what I realized is, in the moment of feeling that ickiness, you have to remember that in a few months from now, this will be over. This isn't forever. You're not going to be stuck in your house forever. You're not going to be feeling these feelings forever. You're not going to be in this specific spot forever. And so what do you want your business to look like at that point? Because while I preach community and I don't preach direct sale, or I don't preach cold messaging and recruiting and all of that, this is how I contribute to my family. I quit my full-time job because I wanted to be at home I have 2 special needs sons, and I needed to be here for them while their dad was gone, but I had to make up some of that income difference. Well, this is how I do that. And so while the world is a little bit in chaos, this is still part of our livelihood. And so just like people are losing their jobs out there, do you want to lose your job here? Because if you just hang up the towel today and decide that it feels weird to try to sell a pair of leggings, well, 6 months from now, what does that look like for you? Do you have a job left? Are there people in your community left? And so you have to change the mindset a little bit. This isn't about selling leggings right now. And in fact, for me, it's never been about selling leggings, maybe the first 10 minutes. But then I realized that this pair of leggings made me feel so damn good that the entire freaking world needed to put them on their body and feel good too. So you have a moment right now. You have the opportunity right now to make somebody else feel better about themselves. It has nothing to do with leggings. There is power in community. There is power in love. And if you happen to sell a pair of leggings on top of that, that's the bonus. So my challenge for you would be to shift the mindset in your group. Don't just Zaya vomit people. The number one thing that I preach when I do this business coaching is stop the Zaya vomit. People will not come to your group if all they see is Zaya, 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 Zaya. Now, Jen can attest to that, 100%. We have switched that in her group, and people are buying organically. Jen lives in a hard-hit area of, people losing their jobs, and I live in Texas, and I'll be honest, we're shut down, but a whole lot of people here are not feeling the same effects of this as people in New York City. So demographic does matter a little bit right now. However, people are still buying leggings. Why? Because now they're at home and they want to be comfortable. But people are buying leggings from me because I've spent the last year and a half making them feel really loved and special. I've spent the last year and a half building a safe place for them to go to. And so right now, my group is a relief from all the crap that they're seeing on their TV. My group is a place that they can go and they can talk about the stupid Tiger King on Netflix. My group is a place where they can go and say, I don't know. I need a bra because I've had to wear this real bra for the last 6 years of my adult life. And now I want the ladies to hang out. And I'm like, girl, I got you. I got those boobies. It's fine. But all of that can be created in a short amount of time. Stop Zaya vomiting people, and it won't feel so icky that you're trying to sell something to them, because I am still selling things to them. I don't want to, yeah, Tiger King, yes. And no, you don't need to thank us for our service. It's all Matt. And if you tell him that I'm proud of him or that I like him, I'll personally kill you, because part of our marriage is making sure that he knows that I only like him at a distance, right? But you have an opportunity right now to stop the direct sales model. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because lots of people have found success in that. But I'm telling you right now that if you start to dig into people, if you start to create a safe place for them in your group, the sales will come naturally. Why? Because someone will want to support you because you've supported them, because you created a safe place for them, because they see you sitting on your couch chasing your children where you haven't showered in 6 days, but they're like, dang, look at those floral leggings. I want those, right? So it's all about tone. The tone doesn't have to be, please buy a pair of leggings for me because you just lost your job or you're at home working and I need your money. No, the tone is, if you buy this pair of leggings, that's really great. But if you don't, and you're sitting in my group and you're just here to have a good laugh, or you're here to have some fun, or to make fun of myself, or to talk about how awful our children are, or to talk about how our spouses are driving us crazy because we have to spend all this time together. And that's why I'm really glad for a deployment, because like, I don't have to kill him, you know, I don't have to go to jail after this quarantine is over. So that seems really exciting. You have the opportunity to change the tone in your group, and the sales will come naturally. It may not happen right away, but it does happen over time, because people will want to support you. They will want to love on you because you are loving on everybody else. So a couple of ideas. One, besides the Zaya situation, stop posting about Zaya. Just don't do it. Post a funny meme or talk about, oh, sorry, we have a visitor. See, chaos. And he's naked, in case you're wondering. Hey, go back to there. Okay. Oh, he also thinks he's a lion. So if you hear roaring, don't be alarmed. But you have the opportunity to right now just stop Zaya vomiting people. So again, you can post funny memes. You can talk about what you're doing in quarantine. And at the very bottom of that, you can say, oh, by the way, look at these super cute floral leggings that I'm wearing that are making me feel really comfortable. That wasn't, hey, come buy floral leggings from me. That was, look at this funny story I've told you, and I happen to also be wearing Zaya. Would you like it as well? You can take out the come buy from me by sharing yourself, by being authentic in your group, by taking a moment to pause the Zaya and to start creating a space where people interact. And what you'll find is that the more of you that you share, the more of your personal story that you put out there, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, the more people will start to react in your group. You'll start to see people commenting. You'll start to see people playing along with your games, because you're not just barking Zaya up their tree. When you bark only the product, people think you're trying to just sell them something. When you share yourself and you create this space that's safe and fun and loved, and sometimes horrifically sad or hard to talk about, people will react to you, they will love on you, and the rest will start to come into play after that. What's my ratio of funny meme stocks, photos, and pictures of my kids? I have a 2-to-1 situation when it comes to posting in my group, except on Wednesdays. I call Wednesdays Zaya Vomit Wednesday. If you want to vomit Zaya all over your group on Wednesdays, have at it. It's new release day. do whatever you need to do, right? But know that your interaction in your group is going to be a little bit lower. On any given day, I post 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you tell me you don't have time for that, I'm going to slap you in your face, because you do. Number one. Number two, I try to keep it 2 to 1. So I try to post twice a day that has absolutely nothing to do with Zaya. Nothing. Literally, not even the words come out of my typing mouth. And one post that maybe talks about something that doesn't have anything to do with Zaya, but that incorporates my outfit that I'm wearing, or I don't know, the bra, or whatever. I just kind of slightly slip it in there. And then someone's going to be like, oh, well, I really like that outfit. Now, am I perfect at that? No. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, look at this cute outfit. But then I talk about the giant mess behind me that's been exploding 7 times today from the toy chest that I swear multiplies every single time they dump out the damn toy chest, right? I keep it real. I keep it light. I don't sugarcoat anything for anybody. And I certainly do not ask anybody to buy anything from me ever. And I think because I do that, I created this community-based place. People go and look whenever they want to see something that they like naturally, because they don't feel like I've shoved it down their throats. Again, I want to be very clear. There's nothing wrong. If you are just like hitting it hard and people are buying, then great. But long term, that doesn't create repeat customers. It doesn't create the ability for you to not host parties anymore. It just creates a one-time situation, typically, because you've almost beat them down where they're like, fine, I'll buy your damn leggings, just so that you'll stop talking to them. Now, they usually put the leggings on and they're like, all right, she was right. But they're never going to tell you that, because they feel kind of beat down by the process in which you got them to buy the leggings. But if you create a safe place, if you create this fun environment, if you change the connotation in your group from me to what can I do for you, and let me share myself and let me share my story, it's really powerful. And I want to tell you, this is the typically when I start a business mentorship with someone, the almost always they say, I don't have a story like you do. That's not true. Everybody has a story. I have a really sad story, and I wouldn't wish my story on anybody, and I came out on the other side of that. But that doesn't mean that you don't have something powerful to share. And sometimes you got to dig real deep. And that's what we do in what Jen and I do, is we dig real deep and we talk about things that are hard, and we find what that powerful story is that someone needs to relate. I promise you, there's a woman out there, or even maybe a man, who is sitting at home, and you're going to share something really vulnerable about you, and they're going to say, yes, me too. And then they're going to gravitate towards what you're doing, because they're going to feel the power in your words. They're going to feel the heartbreak or the sorrow. And you're like, Melissa, I've never done anything my entire life. That's not true. There is something that you have to share that the rest of the world needs to hear. And whether it's one person affected by that or 5 million people affected by that, I promise you, someone out there needs you. Someone out there needs to hear your hardship. Someone out there needs you to be a little bit vulnerable with them, and a little bit, it's terrifying, don't get me wrong, to rip off the dang Band-Aid and say, listen, this is what I've been through, and it's been really hard, but I came out on the other side, and now I'm here in this community that we've created together. And yes, I happen to sell you leggings, but mostly what I'm doing is creating a place where we can feel okay together. And it's okay to not be okay all of the time, but in those moments where we're not okay, at least we can come here and we can joke about it, or we can not joke about it. Y'all, I cry on lives all the time. It's really embarrassing. But I go there and I rip off that that Band-Aid with them, and they feel safe, because then they share too. I get more messages that I do not deserve, that are completely humbling to me, from women in our company who I've never met, who are like, thank you for sharing your story, but I don't have anything like that. Or they say, thank you for sharing your story, now I can share mine. And if you can do that for one human being, you've made a difference in this world, and that's community. All of the rest of this will fall into place if you've created a safe place for your group. Go away. Sorry. But all of the rest of this, the sales, the parties, all of that will happen naturally if people feel like you've been authentic with them. If they feel like you're sales pitching them, they're not going to come buy from you. But if you can be transparent, if you can be honest, and if you can dig deep, we talk about our why all of the time. And I think whys are ever evolving. And if your why isn't ever evolving, then you're not doing any personal development. We got to dig a little bit deeper, girl. But for me, this started as something for me to hide excess skin in my stomach area because I lost all of this weight. But what it turned into is that I felt so good in these leggings after feeling so sad and lonely for so freaking long that I needed every woman to feel the way that I felt in them. I needed every woman to know that it was okay to hate some part of herself, but then learn to be okay with it long term. I needed every woman to know that she had value and she had something to share with the world. And so that became my personal mission. And because I share that, because I put that out into the world, the people sign up on my team because they want to feel what I'm feeling. Now, do they always do something with their business? Of course not, because that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. But what I want to encourage you to do over these next few weeks is think about where you want your business to be long term. Write down some goals about how you can create community in your space, what you have to offer to them. And then on top of that, stop Zaya vomiting people. If you feel icky trying to sell a pair of leggings, it's because all you're doing is Zaya vomiting. And people are like, nah. And then I come to your group and the first thing I see is Zaya, 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 Zaya. Go, buddy. Go. No. I don't. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Mom life. So, Parker, go. So what I want you to do is the challenge for you would be this. Don't Zaya vomit anybody this week. Pick 2 to 3 posts a day that share your kids, share something funny about whoever you live with, about being in quarantine. Find something stupid to share that's just going to make people laugh. And I want you to pick 3 times a day. Now, we know this about Facebook. So in the morning, between 8 and 10, you're going to get traffic. Lunchtime is usually dead, which is funny because that's when we do new releases. If you notice, your new release posts don't usually get a lot of traction. 1, because it's a heck of a lot of Zaya. 2, because everybody's posting it. 3, it's the worst time of day for social media. And then in the evening, between 7 and 10 p.m., if you post something that has nothing to do with Zaya, 3 times a day for a few days, you're going to start to see people interacting with your posts almost immediately. If you don't, then I'm a fraud and that's fine, but that hasn't been the case yet. If you stop sharing Zaya all of the time, people will start to come to your group. They're going to start to see it in their newsfeed. The reason they're leaving is because they show up and they're like, this is just something someone else is trying to sell to me. If you come in there and say, come be a part of this community, we all need a safe place right now. We all are social distancing. Come social distance in my group. You'll start to see that trickle down. And then what starts to happen is people start to scroll. They start to see what else you're doing in your group. They're like, oh, what is this? I didn't know she sold leggings. If you're not just talking about Zaya, then it doesn't need to feel icky. And then my second question to you would be, what are you doing to give back to your community during this time? If you have the funds, you can create ways to give back to your community while also making sales in Zaya. And there's lots of ways that you can do that. You can sell a pair of leggings and buy a gift card to a local restaurant. If people see that you're not just taking the pie for yourself, but you're giving the pie back to the people around you, they're going to want to support you. If this isn't just about you, people are going to want to be a part of something. People need to feel like we're struggling with social distancing because whether we like it or not, we want to touch people. We want to hug people. We want to high five people. We want to be able to go out and sit on our porch and not fear that you're going to like sneeze on me. We weren't meant for this as human beings, right? That's why this is so hard. what we are meant for is creating safe places full of community and love. And you can do that. And you can not feel icky about selling because you can create a tone in your group that is unique and special and filled with giving back to other people. And then they're also going to want to buy the leggings. So you have a couple of options. You can sit at home and you can feel icky about posting your link, or you can take this opportunity to make a difference in somebody else's life. You can take this opportunity to build the community now so that when this is over, people already want to be a part of what you're doing. They want to support you because you've been authentic and vulnerable with them. And on top of all of that, they might just also want to support you in your business too. Go. So you have two choices. Sit here and think it feels weird to try to sell a pair of leggings, or sit here and think, this is my business. This is how I make money. I can change the tone today so that I'm prepared for my future tomorrow. Do you post both on your group and regular Facebook? I love to share more in my VIP, but I also feel like I need to post on my regular page. Just finished stories at 6. Yes. So I love Kendra Hall. I think she's really great. I don't post a ton on my personal page. I would consider that a little bit Zaya vomit, which might turn people off from coming to your VIP group. So every once in a while, I get real dang excited about something with Zaya, and I'm like, y'all, I'm going to post this all over my personal page, but I don't get a lot of traction from it. What I do get traction from is treating my VIP group like my personal page, and I share things there like my kids and whatever there. And then I slide in the Zaya occasionally. There should be a hell of a lot less Zaya and a hell of a lot more you in your group in order to be creating community. How many people are in my VIP page? Oh, I don't know. 1,100-ish, maybe. Now, maybe 200 of those are Zaya reps, but which is fine. You're welcome to come to my group and steal all of my ideas. I just ask that you don't copy and paste my words verbatim because that's tacky. But my group is mostly customers. I don't host parties, and all of my sales are from people who just click and buy. Do you ever go and ask in the VIP group for it? I do not. I think if your interaction is quiet in your group, it's probably because of what you're posting and also when you're posting it. It really matters. The time matters. But the number one thing that you can change is share more of you and less of Zaya, and people will start to react to that. How many people are in your VIP? What is your theory for adding people? Who do you decide to invite? Well, listen, y'all. Jen's prompting me with these questions because this is what I've coached her on, and she's feeling the juju. You know, she's drinking the Melissa Kool-Aid. Facebook has done something really great. It used to be if you went and clicked invite and you added someone to your VIP group, it would just put them in there. Now it puts them in a preview mode, and they can choose whether they want to come in or not. So what will happen is they will see it in their news feed before they ever actually choose to join or not, which is really cool. If you're just posting about Zaya, they're not coming, I promise you. But if you're posting really funny things like it's your personal page, they coming. They're gonna come see what you're doing. I have a theory that I did not always live by this theory before. Y'all go hit the damn invite button. Hit, invite. Because if they don't want to be there, they'll leave. They'll hit decline. But there's so many people on your Facebook page, personal page, that you prejudge and you decide whether or not they want to be in your group. You can't decide that for them. And I say that for two reasons. One, you don't know who needs a pair of leggings and who doesn't. You don't know who needs a bra. You don't know who wants to join your business unless you hit invite. Two, we are designed to be afraid of what people will think of us. Well, if you can just not care about that for a minute, you might be surprised who shows up in your group. We have this tendency, instead of hitting invite, we say, oh, she probably won't want leggings, or oh, she does her own direct sales thing, or oh, I hated her in high school, she was kind of mean to me. Well, we're not in high school anymore, and if Regina's got money to buy some leggings, then let's invite Regina. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to be mad at her anymore. She was awful in high school, but maybe she, weighs 400 pounds now and is, I don't know, ready to suck it all in together. Regina deserves to feel loved in her leggings just like you do. So don't prejudge Regina because she was mean to you in high school. Go hit the invite button. Now, there will come across a point in your inviting that you might come to a person and you're like, oh, I don't want her to know personal things about me. Here's my answer to that. Why is she your friend on Facebook? Why? If you don't want her to see you in your VIP group, why the heck do you have her on your friends list to begin with? She shouldn't be your friend. So there shouldn't be anybody on your page that you don't hit invite to. If they're on your personal Facebook page, hit invite. Let them decide if they want to come in or not. Jen, how many friends did hop into that group of yours after we did this activity?
I think I invited about 50. I need to go invite more. And what did we decide? Like 40. There were like 42 that accepted them. And it took, I think the first night when I invited them, there were like maybe 13 or 14 that said yes. And that was when? A week and a half ago? And then over the course of the past week and a half, people accepted. Like every day I get a couple more because you get a notification when they accept your invite. So my group.
But also don't feel defeated if they don't, because that just means you don't want them in there anyways, which is fine. But let them decide that. Let them decide what they want to support and what they don't want to support. You are prejudging them before you're ever giving them the opportunity to come be a part of your group. And I don't care how mean Regina was to you in high school, y'all. She might just very well need to feel loved and belonged too.
Amber, I see your question about did you invite, just clicking invite or ask them. So Melissa and I talked about this because I know a lot of people say you need to message them. Don't just put them in the group. Well, because of what Melissa was talking about with Facebook, they don't automatically go into your group. So you're not just dumping a bunch of people into a group. They have to accept it. So I did not message them because they're essentially going to see my message and who I am in that preview that's going to show up in their feed. And we were very specific about, we had already been changing the tone of my group before I invited all those people. So we spent a week just doing pretty much all non-Zaya posts, whether it was memes or me and JD or me and Chris or me or whatever it was. It didn't have anything to do with Zaya. So when the post started, when I hit invite and the post started showing up in their feed, they saw a post about how worried I was about working from home and homeschooling, or a post about the fact that I hadn't showered in 3 days and needed to put on some makeup to feel like a normal human being. So they saw me, they didn't see a sales group. And so we increased my customer group by like over 40 people. And since we've changed this, my sales have gone up. When we first started, they were, I don't know what they were, but they've gone up by like $1,600, and they're very organic.
I can tell you.
I know you can. So if it's really, and I know I've talked to some of you about this, and I appreciate you so much, Melissa, for coming on here and talking to us. And I'm going to put an open invite to all of you. And know that at last count this morning, there were like 420 of you on our team. That's a lot of people, but I'm going to put an open invite to you that if you are worried about your group, and I invite you to send me a message. Be ready for my answer though, because you guys know me, I'm pretty honest, which is why Melissa and I work together really well, because she's pretty honest too, and she has no problem calling me out. So I am more than happy to take a look at your stuff, but be ready for my feedback, because I want everyone to be successful, and I think to do that, we have to change our mindset. And that's really why I wanted Melissa to come on and talk today, because when you start changing your mindset, it's going to change the way your customers and your friends and family view your business, and it won't feel icky anymore. So,
and I want to be, I really do want to say there's nothing wrong with selling leggings, y'all, right now. This is how I feed my family. So I think because it's on the internet, we feel like that's a weird space to live. I would say I feel it a little bit odd, the posts, and I'm just going to say it, the posts about now's the perfect time to start your at-home business. Well, they may not have $400 to start their at-home business, and that's going to feel icky to them. Or, hey, girl, do you want to try my leggings while you're at home because your husband's unemployed? No. How about, hey, I'm going to openly invite people to this place that I've created, a safe place for us to feel kind of all the feelings that we're feeling. And if you happen to want to buy a pair of leggings too, that's totally cool with me. Remember, it's not just about them buying from you, it's how you can support them. And so you've seen a lot of this stuff about, giving a pair of leggings to a healthcare worker, or buying a bra and giving a bra to a nurse or something like that. And if you have the means to do it, then do it. I know not everybody does. If you have party rewards, that's a great way to give back to the people in your group. But if you have an opportunity to service others, people will show up to purchase in your small business because they love you. But if they don't know you, if you're just posting about Zaya all the time, then how have you given them the opportunity to love on you?
yeah. Thank you so much, Melissa. I'll let you guys get
You're
on
so
with
welcome.
your day. So go out and make a post later. Is there a question?
Yeah, so scheduling posts is such a perfect way to do that. And Jen almost schedules all of her posts, but you should post between 7 and 9 in the morning and 7 and 10 at night.
And I think that takes a little playing with, because so for me, those are not the times that are convenient for me to write a post. Right. And so like my morning posts, and I have had to change the times of my morning posts because apparently my friends who work and are now working from home are not getting up at 5:30 like they used to do. So I used to get a ton of interaction when I posted. I'd schedule it for 6:15, and I would get a ton of interaction from all of those people who were my working mom friends. And now I post at 6:15, and
yeah, they sleeping in now, Jen.
Right, they sleep in. So I'm changing the times of my post, and then my evening posts from 7 to 9 is not, or 7, actually for me it's more like 7:30 to 9:30 is the hot spot for me. But that is a really horrible time for me to craft a post. Like with JD and everything going on, it's and usually I drink wine, so it's just a bad time for me to write a post. So I find that if I write my post at like 3 in the afternoon and I have my picture ready to go, then I can schedule it for 7:30, and then lo and behold, at like 7:45 or 8 o'clock, I start getting notifications and people are interacting. So that's what I do to schedule my posts. But it does take about a week to play with the times and figure out when your people are watching.
Yes. And I will remind you one more time, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. The delivery of the message is more important than the message itself. But it's okay to be a little bit selfish right now and think like, okay, but this is my business. But you can change how you're approaching that so that people feel good about what you're doing. How many lives do I do? That's funny. I try to do a couple a week. I get on lives and I don't really talk about selling Zaya or anything. I talk about really random crap about how I'm a terrible mother and how my life is falling apart all of the time. And people really love that. They really love to celebrate my misery. So it just depends how much emotional capacity I have to feel bad about my life, to make other people feel good about theirs. But just, I encourage everybody to at least try once a week. There's not a whole lot to algorithms and going live, but what I will tell you is that if you are going live, people get notifications about that. And so they'll show up to your group and then they're going to go see what else is in there. quarantine allowed me to meow. Yay for quarantine. See, silver lining.
Right.
But I would write this down if you're taking notes, 2-to-1 for every one Zaya post, 2 personal posts that have absolutely nothing to do with it. And if you just happen to mention what kind of leggings you're wearing at the end, that's fine. There's a way to do it where you're not just Zaya vomiting people. So our new team ambition motto today is no more Zaya vomit. Everybody say it with me. No more Zaya vomit. I can't hear any of you, but I'm going to guess that you said it.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week. And we're going to do this again next Thursday. And I've already got the guest lined up, and it's somebody in our corporate office to answer questions. So I think it's going to be really awesome. So thanks a lot. Bye, guys.